Welcome to the Dave Whitty Show. I'm your host, Dave Whitty. Back again for another episode, folks. Episode 17. Big thanks to Justin Fancy for coming on last week. Had a lovely chat with him and, everything he's been up to. Once again, just big thanks to Justin. Got another cool episode coming up for you this week. I had a great interview with Gillian Phillips. She has a plant-based bakery called Gingerly, and she also runs the Trinity Pub Market, which is a space for local vendors to sell all kinds of goodies and all kinds of neat things. And we had a great chat, catching up, and she gave a real great rundown on all the cool things that she's up to, and some of the products that she sells and all that stuff. So make sure you stick around for that interview. You might notice a little lull in my voice today. Tuesday, June 1st. Big game last night. Oh man, this team. I mean, if you follow me along, guys, if you know me at all, I bleed blue. I'm a diehard Leafs fan, and oh man, was this ever tough. This was a hard one. I've seen it all. Last time the Leafs have won a first round playoff since it was 2004. It's 2021. Do you know how many Leafs games I've watched since 2004? It's just, it's crushing. This team just finds a way to break your heart every single time. They can only make it worse every year. There's so much to unpack and unfold. I don't even know if I want to get into it, honestly. I've the soul sucked out of me. It's funny, you can laugh about it, because it's just a game, and these guys make millions of dollars. Let's be honest here. These guys can be upset all they want, but they're at the end of the day, they're going home. But for fans, like people who have spent their lives cheering and rooting for this team, it just really stings to really to feel this. We're up 3-1 in the series, and managed to lose. What happened to our big guys? What happened to Matthews? What happened to Marner? These guys are getting paid. I think between the two of them, it's like 27% of the salary. And they didn't show up. They didn't show up for us. They couldn't score any goals. Marner hasn't scored a playoff goal in 18 games or something like that. The stats are just wild. It's just so depressing. It's heartbreaking. As a Leafs fan and a lifelong Leafs fan, you just want to see this team win, man. I'm just so sick of the ridicule. I'm just sick of being beaten down. And now on top of that, to lose to, arguably, especially out here in Newfoundland, our enemy. Our number one, enemy. Yeah, essentially, it's so many Leafs fans there. There's so many Habs fans. And you know what? The Leafs are the laughing stock of professional sports right now. It's just, it's a tough way to see that happen, honestly. It's you feel bad for a lot of those guys. Jason Spezza, he worked his ass off. He had a great series. And Jack Campbell, he had a better series than Carey Price, number-wise. But, Carey Price stole this series. Undoubtedly the number one goalie in the world. You got to give him credit. And you got to give the Habs organization credit as well. They battled back. They showed resilience. They really, really came out, after those few losses and managed to shut down our big guys. So kudos and hats off to the Montreal Canadiens. You got to hand it to them. And Carey Price isn't getting any younger. He probably deserves to win a cup. If that's the silver lining in Montreal, I'm not much of a Montreal fan. I'm not a Montreal hater like a lot of Leafs fans are. I got a lot of friends who are Montreal fans, and there's a couple of guys on that team that I do definitely like. And you got to root for Carey Price. He's a Canadian guy, and he's been around for a long time, and arguably, like you say, one of the best goaltenders in the world. But he deserves to win a cup. So hats off to the Montreal Canadiens. And it's just going to be a long off season. I think the Leafs are in tough this off season. There's no cap space available. There's a ton of UFAs. Ton of guys that need to be signed. A lot of older guys on the team who probably won't be back. it just seems like our young guys just are out there dipsy doodling. They just want to make highlight reel plays. I mean, that's not how you win playoff hockey. You got to put pucks on net, and you got to look for deflections and rebounds and garbage goals, and that's what wins games. And we had none of that. So, I am just deflated. I got to say, I'm deflated over the Leafs. Every year they manage to do it to you. They just make you think that, you know what, this year is probably going to be a little different. And I'm not sure if we had the cup in mind, but I was just looking to show some signs of improvement just to get out of the first round. I mean, especially up 3-1. And I think to me, this one stings a little bit more than the Bruins 4-1 loss. I mean, that was tough in itself, but our team was really young then. I mean, you can't use that excuse anymore. These guys are getting paid millions and millions of dollars now, and it's ridiculous. Honestly, I'm gutted. I am a gutted human being today. I am a broken man. There's no doubt about that. Lots more hockey going on. I know, the Habs are moving on to play the Jets. It's going to be a tough series. I mean, the Jets are, they had a big break now, and Edmonton or Montreal, sorry, are coming off, tough series, but they got a lot of momentum. So it's going to be a fun series to watch, no doubt. I think all my eggs are in Colorado's basket right now. Really rooting for Alex Newhook, really, local Newfoundland guy. Got the call up late in the season, and he's been playing through the playoffs. And Colorado Avalanche are just a wagon right now. Nathan McKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, Landeskog, Cale Makar, like their team is stacked. They're really, really doing well. And just rooting for Newhook now with the as a local guy. So go Avs, go. Why not? Watching a bit of basketball, a lot of flops going on, and it's just pissing me off. So I haven't been really watching a whole lot. I've just been so invested in the Leafs, this year and this playoffs, and yeah, I mean, it was tough. That was tough. I had a good weekend playing music. There's no doubt about that. Did a few gigs the weekend. Played Thursday night at Golf Shots in Mount Pearl. Got to catch the game in there. Friday and Saturday night, I did a little early set at Shamrock City. It was a great crowd around there. Had a lot of fun doing that one. And then Friday late night and Saturday late night played at O'Reilly's with the Donnies, which is the new folk band they got going. Our guitar player Alex Cull he's away working right now, so we had Mr. Zach Nash of Rum Ragged filling in for us, and it was a great weekend. We had a lot of fun, a lot of really really nice people around, and it was just a ball playing with the boys, no doubt about that. And Sunday I was back to Greensleeves, which is once again always an interesting gig. You never know who you're going to get, who's ever out on the Sunday day boil, or who maybe had a few drinks the weekend and is passing over into Sunday. The highlight of my Sunday gig, no doubt, was it's a 4-hour gig anyways. It's a long gig. I mean, 4-hour solo is a lot. You do a lot of songs, and if you were, I was into my 5th gig by Sunday. It was a long weekend of playing tunes, and I was definitely feeling the, I was gassed. Honestly, I was tired. My voice was strained, absolutely, especially when you're playing with a band. It's a big difference playing with a band than it is playing solo, because you're really pushing it, and there's a bit more volume on stage, so you tend to be pushing your vocals a lot more, and so it definitely makes it tough. But one of the funniest things happened to me on Sunday. I mean, it was about 10:23. Literally, I think I was on my second last song. I played 6:30 to 10:30 there on Sundays, and I was doing just a couple songs. It was packed like all night, super busy. And about 10:23 or something like that, I was performing "The Highwaymen" by the Highwaymen, which I later found out is not actually written by the Highwaymen, which is Johnny Cash, Chris Christopherson, Waylon Jennings, and Willie Nelson. But I mean, they made that song, classic country banger. People love it. It's always a fun song to play. And a person came up and laid this note on my guitar bag, which was laid right next to my guitar on stage or whatever. I'm gonna show it to the folks at home if you can see if I can get it in here. If you're watching, I don't know if I'll get the I might not. No, I won't get it, but I'll read it out to you anyways. It was laid next to my guitar case, and it said, "I said no more Irish. I'm the only person here from the Southern Shore." And I was confused by this, and I kind of asked, I said, "What do you mean?" And the person said, "Nobody here wants to hear Irish." And I said, are you referring to this song that I was in the middle of playing? Because I was so caught off guard that I actually had to ask during the song. And they said, yeah, no more Irish. I'm the only person from the Southern Shore, which in itself is hilarious because does that mean only people from the Southern Shore like traditional folk Irish Newfoundland music? And on top of that, it's a country song from literally 4 artists who couldn't be more country in the world. I mean, this is the kind of shit that you deal with in these pub gigs sometimes. And you can always wonder why you'll see a lot of these guys who are probably 3 sheets to the wind most nights because you're dealing with nonsense like that sometimes. I mean, you laugh it off. It is what it is, but it's just, it's a kick in the face sometimes when you're 4 hours into a set and somebody just says this to you who hasn't been paying attention all night either. It's just hilarious to me, but anyways, it is what it is. Back this Thursday, I'm actually at the Republic doing a gig there. It'll be my second time performing there in the last few weeks. Really fun little spot to hang out. Lots of beers on tap. Always sports on TV. I'll be there like 10 to 1 or 1:30ish and doing a few sets. If you're around, no cover, of course, downtown up on Duckworth Street. Cool little pub. Pop in if you're around, just doing a solo set there. And Friday and Saturday night, I'm playing with Robert Kelly at Shamrock City. It's his birthday Saturday, so if you are around, make sure you stop down and wish Robert a happy birthday. And Sunday, I'll be back at Sleeves, waiting for some more notes to come in. Who knows what could happen. That about does it for me for my week. Like I say, a few tunes on the go to weekend. If you're around, by all means, pop in. And, with that being said, I'm going to swing it over to Jill. We had a great little chat all about her plant-based bakery business and the Trinity market that she puts off. A really, really fun place to hang out on Sundays. So stick around for a great interview with Gillian Phillips. And I'd like to welcome Gillian Phillips of Gingerly and the Trinity Market to the podcast. Thanks for joining me today, Jill. How you doing?
I'm great. Thanks. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Like we had a little chat before we got going. I mean, I had a rough night last night. Watched the Leafs. I mean, the Leafs lost. I was a little bit heartbroken about that. That's the nature of the business, though, when you're cheering for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Oh my goodness. I know you've been pretty busy, Jill. I know you had a market just recently at the Trinity pub there. How did it go the weekend? Was it a good turnout?
It was great. It was such a beautiful day, and there was so many people here, and everyone was enjoying themselves. We've got our brand new patio, so yeah, the place was as full as it can be during the pandemic.
Yeah, exactly. No, and it's a great little event you got down there. But before we talk about the market, I definitely wanted to ask you about Gingerly, which is your business that you do, and you do a ton of great things with Gingerly. Can you just talk about Gingerly a little bit and what it is?
Yeah, sure, totally. So my bakery, Gingerly Plant-Based Bakery, sells all vegan products. So everything that I make is free from dairy, free from all animal byproducts. Some people, sometimes they think about vegan products and they think that maybe they're not good enough, but they try my stuff and everybody just can't believe that it's vegan. So yeah, I'm really busy these days. I'm selling retail at a few locations. You can find my product at the Urban Market on Lamarchant Road, which are doing great things here in the community. I sell at Jumping Bean, so you can find it at the coffee shops. I'm at Belbin's Grocery as well, and lots of different little places around town. You can also contact me for orders. So yeah, things have been great for me.
Yep, I could definitely vouch for that. I mean, I've had your treats and they are definitely delicious. I'm not a vegan by any means, but I mean, I'm down for good food. I like good, tasty food, and you definitely make tasty treats. I can definitely vouch for that. Is bacon something you've always been doing, Jill, or was it an idea you wanted to do to start up a business, or how did that kind of turn out?
Well, honestly, I started my own plant-based journey a few years ago and realized that I was going to have to learn how to cook and bake if I wanted to survive, I guess. So, I was managing a little coffee shop and I started my baking there, and customers would just come from all over the place for it, and they would start asking me for it and wanting me to bake for them. And it kind of just took off from there, and I started just doing more and more baking, and it just grew from there. So I guess I got my start going to markets and craft fairs around town and just testing that out. And yeah, eventually it grew from there. So I've got a great team that works with me, and we bake at a commercial kitchen, and yeah, we're able to do all kinds of great things. So I've also ventured off into doing like pop-ups. So I do hot food events as well. So that's been great. And it's been great meeting new people, and we've been going into restaurants. So we pick a different restaurant every month or two, and we'll go in and we'll make like a vegan night or a brunch or some sort of event based on the cuisine at that restaurant. So it's been a lot of fun. We had an Italian night at Bellissimo Bistro, which was excellent. It was so much fun, and getting to learn new things too is always fun. And turns out I'm not so good at hand making pasta. Yeah,
I leave that to the Bellissimos. Hey.
No, leave it to Joey. I mean, he's excellent at what he does. Yeah,
Joey is awesome. I know Joey as well. Actually, I worked with him a number of years ago, and I've got into eat at his restaurant a few times. And he's just an awesome guy. I mean, and they got a great little thing going on there.
Oh my gosh, they do. It's so special, and especially where it's family-owned business. It's nice to see them doing that together. Yeah.
You mentioned that you where you do your bacon. Where is it you do your bacon? Is it at home or?
Not really at home. I bake in a commercial kitchen space.
Right.
So down in Murray's at the grounds in Portugal Cove, which is a beautiful space. Yeah, and they're also doing some great things down there. They have such awesome food.
Yeah, they do. No doubt. Absolutely. Where did you come up with the name Gingerly?
Oh my gosh, it sparked from a few different places. Of course, this big head of hair that I've got going on here. And also that, gingerly has a couple of different meanings. I do obviously bake some products using ginger, of course, and I love that spice. And gingerly is like, I bake my treats a little gingerly with all the TLC.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. So I know you mentioned that you have some of your products in different venue or different, stores and places you can get it. You did mention a few just recently. How did you get involved with those? Did you approach those businesses and try to get your products in there?
Yeah, definitely. I had a few people reach out to me. Of course, I'm the only vegan bakery here in the province, actually. So there are, of course, other places offering vegan items, but I am the sole person that's just doing strictly vegan. So I don't make other products that aren't vegan. A couple of places, yeah, I've approached them. I just show up with a big box of fresh baked goodies. And I just kind of give them to them and ask them to try them out. And I mean, I've had people call me before I've left the parking lot. I've had people ask me to stay and chat. So I haven't been turned down yet. So fingers crossed that things keep going well.
Yeah, no, for sure. Can you talk about some of the products that you do make? Like what kind of treats do you do? And what are some of the different things that you avail of?
Yeah, so I love to use as much local product as I can source when I'm baking, of course. So one of my longtime standing treats that everybody just loves, and it's definitely one of the most popular ones and best selling, of course, is my Newfoundland sea salt chocolate chip cookies. So they're quite popular. I also make s'mores cookie bars. I make cheesecakes. I do carrot cakes, all sorts of cakes, birthday cakes for occasions. I'm making, as recently, my ice cream sandwiches have been super popular. They are just flying off the shelves, my ice cream cakes. So yeah, I just had to buy a brand new freezer, another one for my downstairs. So I now have 4 big freezers in my house that are just occupying ice cream.
Actually, it's funny. I think I was going back through our messages recently because I was trying to find something when we were talking about getting together to do this, and I think you might have tried to buy a freezer off me at one point.
Yeah, what happened to that freezer? Do you still have it? Or?
No, I think I sold it. Sorry. It was at my cabin. And some guy bought it off me to make a beer keg. But you mentioned. Yeah, exactly. You did mention some of the vegan pop-ups that you do, which are really, really neat. And can you what are some of the events that you might have planned? Do you have any more of those lined up, or what are some of the recent ones you've done?
Yeah, we usually sometimes they're a little bit of a secret, but
oh, okay, sorry, yeah, we don't want to spoil the secret.
That's cool. No, it's cool. I like to put a little teaser out there too. So yeah, I've got some Mexican night plan coming up soon. So that's going to be at another local restaurant. So all kinds of Mexican food. It's going to be great. I'm really excited. So I love cooking that type of cuisine, and I'm excited to learn some new dishes as well. So most recently, we did a Mother's Day brunch. That happened at Bellissimo's as well. I just used his space as a venue, so it wasn't necessarily like an Italian brunch. But yeah, we were making fish cakes, quiche, we did steak and eggs, Benny, all kinds of cool things. So it's really fun to like veganize these things. I don't usually do the same thing twice. This weekend past, I worked with another local cheese company. They're called Like No Other. So we came down to the Trinity Market and we did a big pop up with all kinds of cheesy things. So we were making grilled cheese sandwiches. What else were we making? We were making chili cheese nachos. We had baked bries. We had all kinds of really cool stuff. So yeah, it was really great. We sold out pretty fast. We had vegan pizza pockets. People were just burning the mouths off themselves all over the place. So it was great.
Yeah, no one's got a roof of their mouth left over anymore.
No, I love it.
What's it kind of mean to you to be, to use some of these local products and be involved with other local companies? Like, what does that mean to you as a business?
Oh my gosh, especially during the pandemic, I loved seeing all the local businesses come together and support each other. And now that seems like it's kind of the new norm. And everybody has been so supportive. It's so much fun. One of my first events was at Oliver's restaurant. I teamed up with them and we did like a fine dining event, and it was, oh my gosh, it was great. And they welcome me with open arms, and they're also they have a customer base that they need to cater to. It's not just people who are vegan, it's people that have maybe lactose intolerant or gluten sensitive, or people just with different dietary restrictions. It's great for them. They want to go out when they have a family event. Vegans are tired of going places and trying to make a meal out of side plates, like a chips and a piece of bread or a potato or fries. You know what I mean? Like, it's nice to be able to go out and enjoy a meal. So, the people that own these restaurants are also learning from me things that they can provide outside of that. And that's something that I'm also getting into, as well as some consulting with restaurants. So, getting together with them and thinking about some cool vegan things that they can put on their menu on a permanent basis, which is really great to see. And there's so much more vegan options popping up in the city now. So it's great. We can go out to eat now all the time and, enjoy ourselves at a restaurant that, isn't necessarily vegan or catering to vegans. So it's good.
Yeah, no, that's incredible and good for you. I mean, I'll be willing to bet there's a lot of people in the community who are really happy about that. I mean, when we go out sometimes, a lot of these restaurants, they might only have one option. And it's like, for a vegan or plant-based person, they really only have, one option, or like you mentioned, they're kind of trying to come up with a meal out of side dishes. So I think that's really beneficial. And I think, a lot of restaurants can definitely take a page out of that, because, and not only people who are vegan or plant-based or vegetarian, sometimes people might eat meat, but they just want to have a healthier option sometimes. And that's definitely a healthier route.
Yeah. And this is like, I'm trying to lean towards, so many people that try my food that, aren't vegan or plant-based, and they enjoy it. It's so awesome to see that. And I love that. And I think that's where I get the most excited when it comes to my business and people like trying new food. I love that. I love sharing food. I love people who might be a little bit skeptical about trying vegan stuff. I'm like, just try it. It's just a cookie. We're using flour, we're using sugar, we're using butter, we're using chocolate chips, we're eating the same food. So it's cool. Sometimes they might think, it's vegan, there's something extra sprinkled in there, but no, we're just not putting dairy in there.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. So I want to talk a little bit about the Trinity Market. Can you describe the Trinity Market to the people at home, kind of what it is and when it happens?
Yeah, sure. So the Trinity Market is just a little local market that happens on George Street. It happens here at the Trinity Pub, where I am sitting right now. It's every second Sunday from 12 to 5 p.m. So we just had one this weekend. Our next event is June 13th, and you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram and find out all that good stuff and about all the vendors. We rotate our vendors all the time, so it's a lot of fun. Sometimes when you go to different farmers markets or craft fairs around town, it might be the same sort of people all the time. But where we don't have a whole lot of space, we only allow 12 to 15 vendors. We love to give everybody a chance. So we have people that come from all over the island. Like it is awesome, and we have a good mix of everything. So we always have one of everybody. There's vintage, there's art, there's clothing, there's jewelry. There's so much fun stuff, and it's just really a relaxed atmosphere, and people like to come and get a beer and have a little shop around. They can sit out on our brand new patio, enjoy the full view of the street. It's just gorgeous out there, and it's just such a really good vibes that happen around here on Sundays at the market. It's also a family-friendly event, so you can bring the kids down. We usually have hot food vendors. Sometimes we do food trucks in the summertime. There's vendors set up. The pedestrian mall was incredible to us last year in regards to foot traffic coming into the market space. But yeah, we really try to spread the word, and so many of our neighbors down here, other local stores, they, tell their customers on market day that the market is happening. And yeah, it's just really great to see all the local support. And that just ties back into, you asked me what it meant to me as a business to be able to work with these other local businesses. It's just fantastic. And I'm so grateful that they've given me the opportunity, because the exposure alone is just amazing for me as a new business starting and trying to expand.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd be willing to bet that it's probably nice to be able to work alongside some people who are similar to yourself in the business sense, who are, really trying to get their products out there and really trying to just meet new people and trying to meet new customers. I mean, you nailed it right there with the Trinity pub. It's always such a nice little vibe there. I mean, the patio, brand new patio there is fantastic. It's overlooking George Street, overlooking the city. It's a nice little space there, and you can get out and have a look. A really, really great little vibe there for sure. Were you kind of the head spear of the Trinity market? Did you start the Trinity market?
Yeah, I started the market. I mean, we only actually had one before the pandemic last year, just in March. It was just a couple of days before everything kind of went crazy. But yeah, it was an effort to connect just more people with more local products. I myself found that sometimes you couldn't maybe get into a market, or they were booked, and there was so many other people selling this stuff, and I didn't see them out, in retail stores. And I just thought it would be really fun. And especially here working at the pub, they have this big, beautiful new back bar that they call O'Dearn Hall, and it's just a great venue. So I thought it would be fun. And there's nothing like that happening at bars around town, and especially in the downtown area at the time. I mean, think about all the cruise ships and that used to come into the harbor, and they would only have an hour or two maybe to run around. I mean, they're not leaving the downtown area to head to another market maybe. So it's nice, having all the foot traffic. We were a little bit nervous about it at first, especially with parking and things like that, but it hasn't been an issue. It's a really great, it's just great. Everybody comes anyways. Lots of foot traffic is the big thing. I think people are they're out walking in the sunshine and they see the market. We usually get the Coast Cruiser comes down in the summertime. They park outside and they're giving away stuff and they're sending people in. So yeah, we haven't had a problem. It's been great.
No, it's so great to have, the support of the community like that. And I mean, and
Gotcha.
and all the different, coast. I mean, that's all huge stuff to get some people around. I mean, it must have been a nice kind of surprise, I guess, to you guys at the market there with the pedestrian mall opening. I mean, after, I don't want to say after the pandemic, because we're still currently in the middle of this fucking pandemic, excuse my French. But, I mean, once the restrictions kind of got lifted last year after, our first lockdown and, we were looking pretty good there last summer. I got to say, everyone was feeling pretty good. Everyone's playing by the rules, and we managed to kind of salvage a bit of a summer out of it. That must have been such a great advantage to have that pedestrian mall kind of focused next to you guys, because like you mentioned, the foot traffic that comes down and walks Water Street, even just to get out for a look, it has to be advantageous for sure.
Oh my gosh, it was. We were really excited when we heard about it. And I think there was an extension that happened as well towards the fall. I think they were going to close it and they continued it for a little while. But yeah, I think it just drew people out more. And even, when the pedestrian mall kind of stopped doing its thing, I think that people were still out it didn't really slow us down, I've got to say. So whatever the reason was, whether it's become a destination market now, or we're still just grabbing people who are passing by and interested to see what's going on, it's a mix of everything. And of course, our amazing vendors are bringing in customers of their own and people of their own who are just dying to try their products. We always try to find some really cool, neat little people who have some pretty special things to offer. So it's great to see, lineups and at people's booths and people selling out. And everybody's had a really great experience. I must say, my vendors have expressed extreme gratitude, and especially for meeting like that new type of clientele and just like a different kind of vibe than a traditional market.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like you say, it's great. It's kind of like, cross marketing, because you have different vendors coming in and who, are supporters of each vendor. I mean, and they're coming down to maybe pick up a product and then they stumble across something else. I mean, that's how that kind of nature of that business works. Can you talk about some of the vendors and what kind of some of the stuff that people can expect to see when they come down to the market?
Yeah, I would love to. Like I said, we always, bring in a good mix of people, but we do have a pretty good little family here. And we've got a few people that are just fan favorites that we absolutely have to bring back all the time. Who comes down here? Let me see. We love having Saucy Pots Pottery. So they are over in the Battery doing their thing. Erin is excellent, and her family that works with her. They're making these beautiful ceramic mugs and they say fuck off or whatever, they're just, they're very X-rated, but they're hilarious and people just love them. Like,
there you go. Look,
you got one right there. What did you say? Fucking fuck?
Fucking fuck.
Yeah. Love it. That's awesome. I've got a few of them at home as well. And yeah, they're just so funny. The Battery Skate Shop comes down too. They've got all kinds of like funny little pins. They also collaborate with other local businesses, so they're bringing in extra things. They've got you can check them out online. They're selling the coolest rollerblades ever. The Derby girls are wearing all their stuff.
Yeah, that's huge so now. Fun. Right now, people are really into the roller skating again.
I know. I wish I could. I should start. I say I'm going to, but I don't know. I'll have to get them to hook me up with a pair of blades. Yeah, we've got Queen Bee Cosmetics. She makes these gorgeous bath bombs. The kids just go crazy for them. I mean, everybody goes crazy for them. Jewelry by Lori comes. She is amazing. She sells gorgeous things. People just love her product. She sells Sea Glass. NL comes down. She makes these just all kinds of beautiful creations with sea glass that you can find. Bellissimo Bistro actually pops up here sometimes. They come in and sling sandwiches all day long out on the patio. We had Saucy Mouth Food Truck as an events truck down here all last summer. People just love seeing them. Curry Delight comes to our market sometime. I'm actually wearing one of their shirts right now. It says Lentil Health Matters. So yeah, no, there's just a really great mix of people that come down with all sorts of different things. And we welcome everybody and encourage everyone to apply. We want everybody to have a chance.
Yeah, no, it's a really welcoming vibe down there for sure. And I mean, lots of great vendors. I mean, and it's no better time right now, especially with the pandemic, than to support local. I mean, especially people who are creating things and they're making things with their hands. I mean, people are really working hard and they're just trying to provide for their family and people are trying to just make a living and trying to do something that they're passionate about. So, I mean, kudos to you and all the gang down at the market there, because that's a great thing to happen, especially in our downtown, because you mentioned it. There's not much like that going on downtown. And, it makes a great afternoon on a Sunday afternoon, to come down and check it out. You can have a beer and you can stroll around and I mean, it's COVID friendly. I mean, everybody's socially distanced and everybody's masked up and stuff like that. So, and it's a family friendly event, like you had mentioned. So, that's really incredible, Jill. Kudos to you guys and the team that works behind that, because I know that's there's a lot of work behind it for sure. I'm willing to bet. For our folks at home, where can we find you online for Gingerly first?
So you can find me at Gingerly G on Instagram or just my page, Gingerly. You should see it come up there on Facebook, Gingerly Plant-Based Bakery. I'm always online, and I'm always posting my products. I've got some cool things posted this week that I'm selling right now. So yeah, everybody can find me there. Of course, you can find me at the Trinity Market. I'm always here. I usually set up right across the back bar. So we have a lot of fun just, slinging cookies from the bar. It's great.
And when is the next market happening?
June 13th is our next market. So that's a Sunday, of course, and doors open up at noon and we are here until 5 p.m. Also, for everybody that has a puppy dog out there, we have, I think, one of the only puppy friendly patios in the city. So all the time, you're welcome to bring your doggy on down, chill out on the patio, have a beer. If you want to order some food or something, we're happy to bring it out to you.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And the market happens every second Sunday, right?
Every second Sunday. We will always make a poster and post the details. The radio's been really good about sharing it. The support local groups, the Guide to the Good, they've been awesome. So you can check all these places. The community events on most local pages will have that information.
Yep. And for anybody who's listening at home and maybe is unfamiliar, if you are, where Trinity Pub is, it's right at the end of George Street, just as you kind of right towards the end. It's just up over the stairs a little bit left, or if you come down over the steps there on Duckworth Street, you can find it tucked away in the corner. Really, really nice little venue, great space, and you'll see the brand new patio there. It's beautiful. And Trinity Pub, the Trinity Market is online as well. Is there an
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yep. So the Trinity Market's got a Facebook page, just the Trinity Market, and it's the same on Instagram as well. And we post all our information there, of course.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for taking the time, Jill. I know you're busy, and
I'm so excited.
No worries at all. I really, really appreciate you taking the time, and look forward to seeing you soon. So you have a great day, and we'll catch up with you soon, Jill. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Big thanks to Jill for coming on there. She's an absolute sweetheart. I've known Jill for a number of years, and she also works at the pub there at Trinity. So whenever I'm performing down there, she's always working, and we're always having a chat and carrying on. And I just thought she'd be a great person to have on because those are the type of people I like to have on the podcast. I just like having people who are working their ass off, doing something that they love, doing something for the community and involved in the community. And she's definitely one of those. She kind of head speared the Trinity Market, and it's really, really neat, guys. I mean, it's kind of like it's like a farmer's market / not a farmer's market, but like a flea market, farmer's market, vendor's market. I mean, there's all kinds of different things that you can find down there. Plus, it's in a pub, so you can go down and have a beer while you're walking around and browsing all these little local vendors. And when you're doing that, you're supporting local, guys. I mean, you're supporting people's families who are from here, right from Newfoundland and right from St. John's. People who have kids and that kind of stuff, and people who are just creative. They're trying to come up with ways to make art and make food and all sorts of different things to sell, to try to just support their families. So if you are in the market for that sort of thing and you enjoy doing that kind of thing, make sure you do check out the Trinity Market every second Sunday there at the Trinity Pub on George Street. And make sure you do check out Jill and Gingerly. She's like you say, she's a sweetheart, and she works really, really hard, and she's so good at what she does. I've sampled many of her treats. She actually dropped me off a box of treats, or I think she did. I'm not 100% positive, but she said she's going to. But I've had a bunch of her treats over the years, and they're delicious, and she rocks. She's really cool. So make sure you do support people like that, guys, especially in the community. So that about does it for me, guys. Make sure you do check me out if you feel so inclined. The weekend, lots of great tunes going down around downtown St. John's. The weather's just been beautiful the last few days. Looking forward to getting out and hitting a golf course. Hopefully, maybe I'll run into Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews and the boys, because it seems like that's all they wanted to do was play golf. They didn't seem like they wanted to come play hockey, and yeah. Oh man, tough day in my world. I mean, just got it. Anyways, guys, that about does it for me. I'm thinking about moving the podcast to every second week or every third week for the summer as things start picking up. I'll keep you guys posted on my social media channels if anything changes. Just finding it a little difficult to find the time to get these, recorded, edited, and posted with the gigs and stuff that's on the go. Plus, the nice weather, you're out doing a few more things. And so I'll keep you posted on that. If you want to follow me along, guys, you know how to do so. It's you can get me at Dave Whitty on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Facebook, a lot of times I'm posting about the podcast and posting about music, and Instagram is more about, a lot of times is my dog and other music, and Twitter, I'm basically just posting hot takes about sporting events. So, I mean, you get the best of three worlds there with all the social media. And of course, like and subscribe on my YouTube channel would be great. Thanks for all the comments, and thanks everybody who's been tuning in. Really appreciate everything. And you know what? That about does it for me. From downtown St. John's, Newfoundland, I'm Dave Whitty. Peace.